soon as I put the parental discretion in front of that episode, I knew that the amount of viewership was going to go down. But good morning, my people. Hope everything's going well for you on this Wednesday morning. It is hump day. First of all, man, we're going to get right to it. I hope you all appreciated the Vigilant story, the short story about the lighthouse keeper who took care of the lighthouse for quite a few years, and he saw it when it was newly built, and then he saw it, as it started to crumble. I hope that you all enjoyed that piece. And really, what I was trying to illustrate in it was the need to have something reliable and dependable to guide you throughout life. Now, you may have certain ideals and certain beliefs that you cherish, you hold dear to you, and those beliefs that you've acquired by experience or either that you were taught, those beliefs have an impact on your life. And so you, without, getting too much into it, you've decided that those core beliefs will dictate the way that you do things. And so that's the reason why it has a powerful effect on your life. And I think that particular piece goes well with the Inner Work episode that we just did, 9-8, about protecting peace. And I think it goes well because I did something in that episode that I don't normally do. I don't usually do. Usually I try to remain practical in the things that I recommend. I try not to venture into spirituality because a lot of times that can be polarizing for people. What you believe as far as your spiritual life is your concern, and it's not my duty with this podcast to try to change it, to try to alter it, to try to update it. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. But at the same time, I will say that if I didn't approach that particular episode the way that I did, then any of the viewers, anybody who's looking at this video, any of you all could call me a liar. As a matter of fact, that's what I would prefer, that you call me a liar. And I would be okay with that particular notion because I would be disingenuous. I would be the deceitful, I think. I'd be deceitful in a situation where I have a podcast that talks about the strategies and the notions and the things that I live by that has helped me. Why would I not identify in truth those things? Why would I tell you something that I hadn't experienced myself? Why would I do that? It's disingenuous. And for me to put up a facade like that, I think does quite a bit of harm to the people that are listening. Because if I can identify where my peace comes from, then there would be no need in me doing that episode. So it wasn't an attempt to push anyone in a certain direction, but it was an attempt to level set us as brothers. Are you attempting to provide something that is outside of your ability to provide? Is this arrogance? Is this a play on your self-esteem? I don't think so. But what I think it is, I think it's looking at a situation and assessing your ability accordingly. So it's going to take a fair amount of modesty in order to be able to look at this situation and say, maybe I can't provide happiness. I can't be the source of a person's happiness. Because if that was the case, then there would be more situations where you're introduced to people, you're introduced into their lives, and more people would be happy because there are individuals who care about you and love you and want you to be happy. And just based on the fact that they want you to be happy, then they could work in an effort to make you happy. But we all know that that's not the way that this works. That's not the way that happiness works. There are some things from the outside that can bring you joy. There are some things from the outside that could, perk up your particular mood, put you in a better frame of mind. But happiness, real peace and happiness comes from inside. It comes from inside. Peace comes from within you. It's an inner quality, something that you have to cultivate. Nobody can give it to you. You have to cultivate it yourself. And those steps, those things that I ask that you do are things that you can do right now at this moment to cultivate peace in your life. You can cultivate it. And even though you can't provide it or be the source of it for other individuals, you'll find that in your trying to assist, you're trying to help other individuals to maintain their peace, you'll find out that that helps you to maintain yours too. So, out of all of the things that were spoken about, what uh, grabbed my attention as I was trying to prepare the episode is the need to be consistent. Consistency brings peace, because if you're consistent, then you'll be reliable, and if people can rely on you, then that means that they don't have to worry about making other arrangements when you're involved. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to worry about trying to figure out a B plan just in case you're not available, or just in case you can't do what you said you were going to do. And as a man, I think that's a primary part of manhood, living according to your word. Now, practically, that has a lot of implications throughout your life, in employment, with friendships, in your marriage, if you're married, in relationships, almost every part of your life. If you are a person that's dependable, if you're a person that's consistent, then you will see the benefit of it. You'll see the benefit. And that particular point also, I think, plays well with the fact that if a person is consistent and they're honest, and this is the way that they live life, then you'll find out that more than not, that person will be put in positions where that reliability, that consistency will bring benefit to them. Case in point, most of the time I've seen, especially in working in the position where I am, consistency and reliability above all can sometimes open doors for you that degrees and certifications cannot. If a person is convinced of the fact that you're going to stand on your word, even if your word causes you difficulty, a lot of times they're willing to give you the grace to learn maybe things that you should have known before you got into the position. They give you the grace to be able to learn it because of the fact that they know that after you've acquired the knowledge that you need, you'll be an asset, because you're going to use that knowledge consistently to help to aid in that particular position that you're in. So that consistency is a wonderful thing, man. And then if you look at it too in the family, to be consistent, to be reliable, you'll notice that a lot of times in families where you have a husband who displays that quality, he's reliable, he's consistent, he's a man of his word, he has integrity in that regard. You notice that there is almost an absence of fear when it comes to whether or not family members will have the things that they need. It's almost as if there is almost a notion that's unquestionable about whether or not he'll be able to come through for them. There's absolutely no doubt, because of the fact that he's been consistent and reliable in the past. He's shown himself. That's part of his character. That's part of who he is. And so it's almost as if he creates an atmosphere where nobody has to question whether or not he'll be able to provide. Dad just finds a way. And I've had the pleasure, man, of being around families where that was the case. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. That's one of those areas that we spoke about in the video, that a person you can help with peace. You can assist with a person's peace. You can't be the source of it, but you can protect it. You can promote it. You can assist them with it, like I said. And that's one of it, to have a household where individuals are not concerned about whether or not they're going to be provided for because of the kind of person that the father is a wonderful example, in my opinion, of what it means to be consistent, what it means to be reliable, what it means to be a man of your word. As I mentioned, that's one of the primary points of manhood. That's one of the primary ones. You can't look at a situation and say that, wow, I had a wreck this morning. But you can't look at a situation and say that a particular uh, method, a particular strategy that you're using is one that you would recommend if it doesn't bring any benefit to those around you. And so the strategies, even though they were biblical strategies, what I was attempting to do was to show how practically you can take those qualities, those notions, those principles, and use them in everyday life and what that would look like. If you look at a situation and you say, okay, listen, this is above me. Now, you might not say that you're going to give the situation to your creator or to God. You might not say that. There might not be a term that you use. But what I'm encouraging you to do is to look at situations and say, listen, this is above me. This isn't something that I on my own can handle. And in a lot of situations, that's the case. That's the case. You're looking at things and you want the person and the situation to work out well. You want things to happen well for the person. But all of the factors that are involved, the things that the person has been through in the past, the thoughts and the opinions of the people around them that could have an effect on how this situation plays out, none of that is something that you can control. None of it is. So I guess what I'm saying in a practical way is you need to sit down and you need to take away the things that you cannot control. You need to take those things out of consideration and focus on the things that you can control. And I like the notion that I used. You're talking to an individual, and instead of automatically trying to fix the situation, the problem that they're having, you're sitting there, you're listening, and when they get through fully expressing themselves, you ask, okay, what do you need from me right now? What do you need me to do? Is there something in particular that I could do to aid and assist you? What do you need from me at this particular moment? So you're bringing to the fore what can be done on your end in the situation, right? You're not allowing yourself to become bogged down with the factors in the situation that you have absolutely no control of. And as men, I think because of a certain arrogance that we have, we feel like we can control every situation that we're placed in. And that's just absolutely not the case. There are some situations that you have to let them play out because you don't have any control. But now you always have control over how you respond, how you react, what you say after a situation has come to its conclusion, what you do. And a lot of times the reaction for most people is what causes them to be successful. They're not allowing their emotions to dictate what they should do. Now, emotions play a part, but clear thinking faculties, being reasonable, being logical, you look at things from a lens of trying to figure out what would be the best method to take. And then, of course, emotions come into it where you can take how you feel about a certain situation and allow it to motivate you to try to make that situation better. So, man, I hope that particular episode, well, both episodes were encouraging to you, man. We got kind of a dip in the amount of views that we had on the last inner work, and I expected that. I expected it as soon as I put the parental discretion in front of that episode. I knew that the amount of viewership was going to go down because maybe a lot of people thought that I was trying to force a particular religion on them. Maybe they thought I was trying to force a particular set of principles and standards for their lives, but I wasn't. I was just trying to illustrate the practicality of looking at things and being aware of your limitations, being modest, not taking on things and projects and situations that are above and beyond your ability to handle. And a lot of situations we find ourselves, uh, it's too much for us to handle. So how in the world can someone else handle it for us? So it's just a need just to be honest and realistic about the way that we approach problem solving and difficulties in life. I personally have seen the benefit of involving my creator. Now, there may be some who see this video that don't agree. Maybe they don't see that notion of a creator as being real. Maybe it's some fairy tale fantasy that they think people have come up with. But the only thing I can do, in all honesty, the only thing I can do is give you what has worked for me. And in giving you what works for me, I've been honest with you. I put my best foot forward, as I always promise to do. I promise to be positive. I promise to give you something that in the end, if you try it, if it worked for me, I'm sure it'll work for you. So now look, we are about to go on in to work today, man. I think today is going to be wonderful. It started off well, so let's see what we can work out. As always, man, you know I love you, and I hope the work for the day ends well. I hope the work for the week ends well for you. I hope everything that you planned, everything that you wanted to get accomplished, you get accomplished today. Let's be positive and let's get it done. All right? So now, you know how this ends. You know I love you. Peace.